The global Muslim population now exceeds 1.9 billion people. This demographic occupies the world's most critical trade corridors and manages vast natural wealth. These figures suggest the presence of a global superpower. Yet this massive population is divided by dozens of modern, hard geographic borders. These systemic divisions result in extreme vulnerability. Millions face mass displacement and cycles of regional conflict without a unified defense. Historic cities and generations of infrastructure lie in ruins, reflecting a deep-seated geopolitical weakness. Despite possessing the necessary manpower and wealth, the Ummah remains paralyzed by the absence of a cohesive political structure. Modern secularism treats faith as a private matter, confining religious life to personal rituals and the interior of the mosque. This raises a fundamental question about the nature of Islam. Is it a collection of private worship acts, or a comprehensive system for law and statecraft? The answer to this question determines whether the current crisis is a failure of policy or a departure from the religion's core structure. Foundational Islamic texts establish a comprehensive legal framework intended for social and political application. Surah Al-Ma'idah explicitly mandates that governance must align with divine revelation, categorizing the failure to do so as an act of injustice. In this framework, ultimate legislative authority belongs to God. Laws are derived from an unchanging divine standard rather than human consensus. The Prophet Muhammad described leadership as a heavy burden of accountability, likening every leader to a shepherd responsible for their flock. These scriptural requirements necessitate a functioning political state to enforce justice and protect the community. The early Caliphate of the Rashidun serves as the primary historical example of this system in action. These leaders governed through Shura, or mutual consultation, which functioned as a check against absolute individual power. Accountability reached the highest levels of office, with heads of state answering directly to common citizens in public courts of law. The state focused on protecting the vulnerable and maintaining a judicial system that functioned independently of a person's social status. This era demonstrates that an Islamic state is a practical model capable of delivering equitable governance across a vast territory. Current global political models prioritize secularism and capitalist growth. While these systems have driven material and technological advancement, they have struggled to ensure moral equity or impartial justice for all citizens. Modern Muslim leadership remains fragmented, with each state pursuing individual national interests rather than the needs of a collective ummah. Secular governance places final authority in human hands, leaving the law open to manipulation by the powerful. The Islamic model requires adherence to a divine law that remains constant. The adoption of these fragmented models coincided with the collapse of the unified political power that once defined the Muslim world. The Muslim world possesses immense demographics and ample natural resources. The current instability stems from internal ideological division and the continued acceptance of artificial borders. Surah Al-Imran issues a direct command for believers to remain united and avoid the divisions that lead to weakness. These texts only provide value when they are applied as a living constitution, rather than being treated as historical artifacts. The historical blueprint for a unified state remains an accessible framework for the modern Ummah. Revival depends on moving past geopolitical tribalism and enforcing justice according to the standards of the Sunnah. A global Ummah acting with a single purpose would represent an unparalleled diplomatic and economic force. The survival and success of the Muslim world requires a return to a unified system that integrates Islamic principles into every facet of public and private life.